From the heart of Wayne County, this is Wayne Goldsboro Television, Goldsboro, North Carolina. Today is Wednesday. It is March 8th, 2017, and this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. And today, Pat, where are we?
We are at the Charles B. Aycock birthplace.
And Fremont, between Fremont and Pikeville, just off Highway 117. And it's a bit breezy out here today. We got had some rain roll in overnight. That rain should be clearing out of here later this morning. And this afternoon, we'll actually see sunshine. And it's going to be another nice day, warm and all that. So let's not give up on the weather, because the weather is probably going to change again, right?
That's what I've heard.
Okay, we'll just see what happens. We're not going to go into any details right now, but we got a fundraiser coming up. And thank you, Ryan. This comes from, this is for a fundraiser for Special Olympics, North Carolina. This will be taking place Sunday, March 12th at Zaxby's. Is that this Sunday?
No.
Oh, okay. March 12th, Sunday, March 12th. It is this Sunday. It is this Sunday because we run our clocks ahead 1 hour this Sunday, the 12th. Daylight saving time begins Sunday.
I still can't believe that.
I know, it's moving quickly. Anyway, Sunday, March 12th at Zaxby's, a fundraiser for Special Olympics, North Carolina. Starts at 11 and goes till 5 p.m. Okay?
Okay.
So here's the Charles B. Aycock birthplace in Fremont, just off Highway 117. They got a big event coming up. On the, is it the 18th they have?
It's Saturday, March 18th.
Okay.
At noon.
At noon.
Starting at noon until 3 p.m.
Right.
It's a free event, and it's Let's Go Fly a Kite.
Let's go fly a kite. You know, today would have been the ideal day for that because it's been on the breezy side out here.
It is.
Yes, it is. Anyway, this is, what is this? What does it say?
Bring your kite and see how high you can fly.
Okay.
There's also new attraction. They will have the Raven from the Wayne County Sheriff's Office.
All right.
And a new exhibit is the mini exhibit on kites in the auditorium.
Really?
Yes.
Kites are fun. Kites have been entertaining humans for thousands of years. The Chinese had a lot of fun with them. But kites are fun, and there's so many different kinds of kites. So get a kite. And you can spend, well, they used to be 50 cents. They're a little more than that now. But get a kite and come on out here to the Charles B. Aycock birthplace on the 18th. At what time?
From noon.
Noon.
Until 3 p.m.
Until 3, and go fly a kite. Okay?
That's right. For more information, you can contact them at 919-242-5581.
242-5581. 242-5581.
That's
okay. Right. All right. Get your pets spayed or neutered this April 1st for only $5. Just on April 1st, there's 2 places you can do it. One in the morning, one in the afternoon. In the morning at Eastern Wayne High School, beginning at 11 a.m. And in the afternoon at Southern Wayne High School at 1 p.m. Okay? That's on April 1st. On April 8th, they're going to do it again at 2 other locations. Grantham Elementary at 8 a.m. and Old Pikeville School Building at 1 p.m. That's on the 8th. It's only $5 per animal. $5 for each animal. Any animal in Wayne County, your pet, your dog, your cat, has to be vaccinated for rabies if they're over 4 months of age. The first year they get a rabies shot. The second year they get a booster, and the third year, and then after that they go for every 3 years. So you get one year, the second one the second year, and then after that every 3 years. And you may need, if you've changed, if the information on your driver's license is not correct, be sure to give them your correct address. Okay? $5 is all it costs. They've cut the price drastically. $5 is all it costs. Okay? Okay. Well, you want to hold that right? Thank you. What is this right here?
Have a Heart for Kids.
Have a Heart for Kids.
At the end of this month, March 31st, from 6 p.m. until 9 p.m. at the Terrence Room at 104 South Center Street. It's $40 a person, $70 a couple, and you can make your checks out to Communities in Schools, because that is who it's sponsored by, and you can mail them to 308 North Wim Street.
Wow. Okay. They're in the same building as the Chamber of Commerce of Wayne County. Communities in Schools.
Yes. And
Yes.
this is their biggest fundraiser.
It is their biggest fundraiser. Have a Heart for Kids, and Selena Bennett doing a great job.
She does.
Doing a great job. And of course, she's got a staff there that's just fantastic. Her support staff is wonderful. So support Communities in Schools. We've got, what's today? March the 8th. Today's, okay, well, tomorrow at Steele Memorial in Mount Olive, they've got their teen game night. Teen game night. Don't try this at home. Leave it to the professionals. Anyway, teen game night. Hang out at the library with friends and play video games and board games and tabletop games. Okay, this is tomorrow night, beginning at 4 p.m., which isn't really night, but it's afternoon.
Right after school.
Right after school, 4 to 5 p.m. And if you want information about this, you can call the Mount Olive Library. Call Steele Memorial Library at 919-299-8105, 299-8105, and ask about teen game night tomorrow, okay? Also, on Friday of this week, at Steele Memorial, they're offering a course or a class in computer basics, just basic computing, intended for beginner computer users, regardless of age. Beginning computer users learn how to create Gmail using Google Chrome, and you'll learn some other things as well. Okay. Wow, look at that. Summer camp at the W.A. Foster Recreation Center. This summer camp begins on June. It'll be June till August, June 12th to August 18th, from 8 in the morning until 2 in the afternoon. It's only $20 per camper, $25 camper maximum, so you need to get in on this soon. Registration is taken on a first come, first served basis. So call now, 734-4164. That's the W.A. Foster Recreation Center number. 734-4164, and register your 7 to 13-year-old for summer camp at Foster Recreation Center. 7 to 13 years of age, and you must present your birth certificate to register, or your parent will need to. And they will offer swimming, arts and crafts, sports, skits, line dancing, game rooming, field tripping, and more. There you go.
And don't worry, if you miss out on this one, there's more summer camps.
There's several summer camps offered, right? All right. Don't forget Saturday, the 41st annual barbecue pork supper at the Oakland Volunteer Fire Department in the Olde building, the old fire department there. That's this Saturday from 4 till 11 p.m. Eat in or take out.
4 till 7.
That's what I meant to say. 4 till 7 p.m. What did I say?
11.
11 to 7, 4 to 7. Let's go.
You know, there would be some tired firemen come 11
There'd be
p.m.
some dead pigs. I'll tell you. Anyway, 4 till 7 p.m. Eat in or take out a whole bunch of pigs. Only $8 a plate, and that's eat in or take out with barbecue, burl potatoes, coleslaw, and hush puppies. There you go, and they're on Oakland Church Road, 674 Oakland Church Road. Okay, all right.
Can't miss them.
Can't miss them. Well,
You're smelling before you see them.
She said that. I didn't say that. Okay.
I can say that.
You can say that.
I can say
she
that.
She can say that. And we're going to go to our next interview, our first interview, our next segment of the program. That's coming up next on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Today we are at the Red Cross office in Goldsboro, 600 North George Street, and I hope you remember that address because there's a lot of things going on here. And we're talking to Kimberly Berrier, and Kimberly, it's always good to see you. How are you?
I am good. How are you?
I am doing fantastic and excited to be here talking about the Red Cross.
We're excited to have you.
Now, the Red Cross just does not collect blood. The Red Cross just does not do this or just do that. The Red Cross is just they have an enormous task of doing so many different things. Cover some things with me.
We have 5 lines of service. You've named 2.
Okay.
We collect blood, and we respond to disasters. Disasters can be on a local level, like a single-family fire, like that alliteration I just put in there. Or it can be something as big as the scale as Hurricane Matthew. So there's a lot of in between when it comes to disaster.
There is a lot in between, and that would include, of course, disasters in other states, in California with mudslides, in Arizona with fires, in Oklahoma with tornadoes.
Yeah, the list goes on, unfortunately, when
And-
you talk about disaster.
And you have people coming out of this office going to those locations.
Correct. That is correct. We deploy volunteers. Usually we like to send volunteers to an area having a disaster for about 2 weeks. That's typically the deployment time.
And these people are trained. You just don't send anybody.
They are trained. In fact, we'll talk about some training classes we have coming up.
Oh, great. Okay. But we're here today to talk about Red Cross, specifically your anniversary.
Yes, we
Tell me
are
about it.
going to celebrate 100 years of service in Wayne County
You look great.
in May. I know, I
For
aged
100.
well. I aged well, didn't I?
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Me and Clara, yeah.
The Red Cross here in Wayne County. In Wayne
100
County?
In Wayne County, yes. We were chartered in May of 1917, so we will be coming up on our 100 years of service.
How about that?
I know.
When I moved here in the mid-'80s, the Red Cross office was on South William Street in a beautiful old house. And it was a house.
Yes.
And it had an upstairs, and it was difficult to get around sometimes, but it was a beautiful old house. But then this building became available,
Yes.
thanks to Piedmont Natural Gas, I believe.
Correct. It used to be their building.
Yeah.
And the mayor at the time helped us secure this property. Our exec, Chuck Waller, and the board also helped secure this property. Yeah.
That was Mayor Plunk, I believe.
That you'd know that better than me because that was before my time in Wayne
okay.
County.
Thank you very much for that.
I'm dating you. You just dated me.
Oh, I guess I did. And you look good for
And we're
100.
done. Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Moving on.
All right, we're done. All right, 100 years old here in Wayne County.
Yeah.
Red Cross has such a wonderful history here. And I have told this story and related this many times about going to work at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning and seeing, going by a house that burned overnight, seeing Red Cross volunteers handing out blankets and food vouchers and helping the children that have just lost everything.
Everything.
And I see volunteers doing this.
Yes.
And that's just what you do.
It is exactly what the American Red Cross does. We are a humanitarian organization led by volunteers. So we need a lot of volunteers, but we need to make sure that we do two things with our volunteers. We need to make sure that we engage them on a regular basis, which is sometimes difficult to do with disaster because you can't plan that next house fire.
That's right.
Even if you could, you wouldn't want to.
No.
So you got to have an engagement plan, and then you also have to train your volunteers because you can't send volunteers out into a disaster and just expect them to know what to do.
That's right. And you have extensive training and retraining constantly.
Yes. In fact, we have coming up, I just got this list, we have coming
Okay.
up in Goldsboro, starting April 1st through July 22nd, we have 10 different classes that we are offering
Really?
to train disaster volunteers.
Wow.
Yes.
For example.
For example, Disaster Action Team Workshop. Another one is feeding fundamentals. Before you can do mass feeding, you have to know how to what is proper food handling safety and that kind of thing.
Food safety and proportions and everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Bulk distribution operations. We're doing one in Kinston called Ready, Set, Roll, and that's to learn how to drive our ERV, our emergency response vehicle.
The emergency response vehicle, which if you watch any disasters on television, you're going to see an ERV from somewhere, and sometimes you might even see this one. You got two here,
We have one in Goldsboro.
One in Goldsboro.
Correct.
Now, you mentioned Kinston.
Yes.
Because out of this office, you cover a large area.
Wayne County actually covers 3, Wayne, Greene, and Lenore.
Right. And that means that at any time, anything could happen, and you're going to be dispatched
We're gonna respond to it.
Greene County or Lenore County.
Yeah,
Right.
one of our longtime volunteers here in Wayne County, Robert Mendoza, he covers things like single-family fires here in Wayne County, but if he needs to, he'll go to Greene.
He has been here a long time. Roberto is a very valuable asset
Yeah.
to the Red Cross here. He just
In a
does
word.
everything.
He really does.
He does everything.
He knows just about everything. In fact, over the weekend, we had a disaster institute at Pamlico Community College.
Okay.
We had over 200 people show up for this institute.
Really?
Yes.
That's wonderful.
I think we offered coursework in 170 different topics, and one of those topics was emergency, and I'm going to get the word wrong, but it's emergency command center Emergency Operations Center, EOC, Emergency Operations Center, learning what that's about, how to be a liaison to the Emergency Operations Center for the Red Cross. That's a huge role to fill.
Yeah.
And we need, and not just Wayne County, in any area that's dealing with a disaster, you need to know how to interact, when to interact with your local officials. So we have to train Red Cross volunteers how to do that. And Robert stepped up to do that this weekend.
Wow.
Trained over 30 people.
Wow.
On Saturday.
Way to go.
Yeah.
I want to switch gears now. Tell me about if a military personnel from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base or from any Air Force Base or from any branch of the military is deployed overseas and there's an emergency back home and they're out in the middle of the desert, they're out in the middle of the jungle, they're out in the middle of the swamp. How do they find out about the emergency back home and what do they do?
Sure. So Service to Armed Forces is what you're referring to. Service to Armed Forces is our communication system set up between family members at home and deployed servicemen and women. Covers all the lines of service from the federal government. I think that's the right. Is that right? So if someone here in Wayne County needed to get an emergency communications message to a loved one overseas, whether it be in the desert or Japan or anywhere in between, they would contact their local Red Cross office. Either we have an office on the base as well as the office on George Street.
Yes, you do.
So you could go through either office and you would be directed to an 877 number that we have established just for emergency communications with our military. So from there it goes to their base command.
And it all starts right here.
It all starts right here, making that phone call to your Red Cross office.
If there's an emergency at home, it's important that personnel overseas deployed know about it.
Exactly.
And it starts right here with the Red Cross.
And it doesn't even have to be anything sad like the death of a loved one. It could be the birth of a baby too.
Aww.
You know, I mean, we get those kinds of emergency messages out as well. Probably one of the myths about our Service to Armed Forces is that we, Red Cross, get people home. We do in a way, but it's totally up to base command as to whether that serviceman or woman can come home. We just provide the necessary documentation to support the communication. So we would be the instrument that would support or prove, for lack of a better word, that yes, that baby was born, that kind of thing.
Right. Now, in another area, I heard a story Saturday night about a gentleman who saved another man's life because he saw this man collapse and went and immediately applied CPR and saved this man's life because he would have died on the spot. And this man, he and the man whose life he saved were together at a meeting I attended. And it was quite a story, But now, you offer, the Red Cross offers life-saving courses in CPR.
Yes. Yes, we do. Adult and infant. We also do adult and infant first aid. We even have an app that teaches you pet first aid.
First aid?
Yeah, because pets are a valuable family member. I mean, come on.
I guess so.
But yes, we do a number of different trainings. Probably the adult CPR and first aid is the biggest thing that we offer and train people in. But you don't have to be certified to be able to save a life. If you know hands-only CPR or citizen CPR, then you can actually help keep someone alive until the professionals get there.
Right.
And really, that's probably the biggest teaching component of any health and safety class is to buy time.
To buy time. And I heard in some area somewhere that if you know the song "Staying Alive," that's helpful. Now, how is that? I'm a big Bee Gees fan, but how is that helpful?
It's the rhythm. It has to do with the rhythm of the song and keeping the rhythm of the heart going until, like I said, until professionals can get there.
If you can sing that to yourself while you're applying CPR, then that's a good chance.
There's a good chance that you'll save a life.
Because it's all about doing it in time.
Exactly.
It's all about timing.
It's all about that rhythm.
Right. Gee whiz. Now, this took 100 years to get here. This is pretty doggone good. This is good stuff.
I think so.
You know, and I also heard a story just a few years ago about a young lady at, and I forget which high school it was, who they were in the cafeteria, and there was another student who was choking. And this young lady went over and applied the Heimlich and saved this person's life. And she learned that. She had just finished her Red Cross course.
That's amazing, isn't
It is amazing. And you never know when something like this is going to happen.
And it doesn't discriminate. It can happen to any of us. It's like a fire. It can happen anywhere to any of us at any time. That's probably the other big caveat for the Red Cross is teaching prevention. Because we want to prevent the fire in the home happening before it happens. So we do our home fire campaign, and we install free smoke alarms in homes that need it. And we don't just install one, we install as many as that home may need. And it doesn't matter where in the county that home is. We will come out and install smoke alarms.
Regardless of the municipality, the city, the county, or anywhere in Wayne County,
yes.
you'll do that.
Yes. And
free of charge.
Free of charge, and we have volunteers that go out and do that.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, and it took 100 years to get here, but they're doing it right, you know?
We're trying.
You're doing it right.
We have some fabulous community partners that help us.
You do.
We really do.
You get the Red Cross gets a lot of support from Wayne County.
Yes, I have been in Wayne County for a little over 10 years, and I've always said, because I used to do the blood drives in Wayne County, and I always said that Wayne County, they bleed. They really do. And you got to take that in context, because if you're a blood donor, you understand what that means and how important it is. One person saves 3 lives and they give a pint of blood.
I'm just relating all kinds of stories here. I remember the story, well, we had, of course, Hurricane Floyd, when Floyd rolled through, and then we recently had Matthew roll through. But these disastrous hurricanes and tornadoes and such, when they hit anywhere near here, and there's people needing blood, people are out of their homes, people are hurt and injured, there's a line around the block for people to give blood here. But let me tell you something that really is exciting, and that is if there is disaster in Minnesota or New York or Florida, if there's a disaster regardless of where it is, and there's people somewhere needing blood, there's a line around the block here in Wayne County.
That's right.
We're a very giving county.
You are. We are.
We are.
I'm very proud to say that this is my community. I live here, so we are.
This is one of the finest organizations that you could ever run into, and I do hope that one day perhaps you'll be a volunteer and help.
Absolutely.
Now, how does somebody volunteer?
So, great question. We are having an open house. Red Cross is having an open house on Saturday, March 25th from 10 to 12. So what we have planned is we're going to have volunteers from each of the lines of service. We've named almost all of them except one in this conversation. We'll see if you can figure out which one we haven't mentioned. We did Service Armed Forces, talked about blood, disaster, health and safety, and then there's one more that a lot of people forget about. But it's really important, and it's called, you want me to give you the answer? It's called International Services.
That's what I was going to
say.
say.
It was on the tip of your tongue.
I was going to say that.
I interrupted him.
I was going to say that. Yeah, I knew that.
Yes, International Services. We provide vaccinations and clean drinking water overseas in countries that are perhaps developing or in the process of developing. Yeah.
So the American Red Cross helps our neighbors as well.
We do. A lot of times what we find in foreign countries is that the cross emblem is not welcome. We may be as an organization, but our symbol is not.
Right.
So we formed the Red Crescent
Right.
overseas as well as the Red Crystal so that we could provide our services to everyone and maintain the principles, founding principles.
And the red crescent looks like a crescent moon.
It does.
Yeah.
Yep, with a star.
So with the star, and when
Yep.
you see that, you know you're talking about the Red Cross.
That's right. Yep.
But it's the Red Crescent.
Yeah, we want to make sure that we're able to deliver our services regardless.
Regardless, because you're a non-regardless or irregardless. You help everybody.
I think it's neutrality.
That's
and then there's one other word in there. Yeah,
There's another word.
That's
Yeah,
part of
but anyway.
our principles.
So
But yes.
for 100 years, you've been working on this. You're finally getting it right. Come here.
Come on.
Come on over here. And we're going to be talking to a fellow here in just a moment whose name came up a few moments ago. So Kimberly, celebrating 100 years for the Red Cross here, how many people do we have in this office now?
So we have 1.5 full-time employees. I'm here full-time, and then we also have a disaster program specialist who's here part-time, but she covers 2 other counties as well as Wayne. So this office is largely run by volunteers. We have we have 3 volunteers that are very active in helping to keep this building open.
What do volunteers do for the Red Cross?
Everything from answer the phones at the front desk to deploy to disasters, respond to local fires, help with our home fire campaign or a pillowcase project.
So that'd be like handing out blankets and meal
kits.
vouchers and comfort kits, yeah.
Exactly. We also have a need for blood volunteers that actually go out into the community where we're having blood drives and volunteer there for us.
Now, these volunteers would not be collecting blood.
Correct. Not
We want to
yet,
stress
anyway.
that. Not yet, anyway.
Not yet. No. What we need volunteers to do at blood drives is greet donors as they're coming in, keep the appointment schedule as well as possible, give donors something to eat and drink after they have finished. That's the biggest thing. They could also make reminder calls to donors. The more of that we do in-house, the better customer service we give to our donors. So they can make reminder calls or recruitment calls, and they can do that from this building. They don't have to do that from their home. And then the last thing we need volunteers for, which is kind of something new, is we need social media volunteers.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. So we have a Facebook page. The American Red Cross has a Facebook page for Wayne County. It's set up as a business. So we need content. We need a lot of social media content. And the way to do that, the best way to do that, is to get other organizations, businesses, that kind of thing, to follow us. We'll follow them, like our stuff, share stuff. You know how social media works. It's social. So we need to get things like our open house that's coming up on March 25th. We need to get that out on social media as much as possible. Right. So the more volunteers we have doing social media for us, the more we get out there in the community.
You know, the work a volunteer does for Red Cross, it sticks with you. It stays with you. And in fact, it's kind of will invigorate you to the point that you will want to come back and do more. Don't you find that people who come in and do a little bit end up doing a little more?
A little more, yes.
And then a little more than that.
A perfect example would be our front desk volunteer, Katie.
Yes.
She actually started donating. She actually started volunteering with us during Hurricane Matthew, and now she is a full volunteer. She volunteers twice a week with us here at the office. So she came to us at a time where we needed event-based volunteers and ended up staying with us.
And we're not talking about 30 or 40 hours a week?
No.
So if somebody wanted to volunteer, could they say come in for an hour a week?
Sure. Most volunteers...
That's not a lot now.
It's not, but...
I'm just trying to get them started. Get them started and then work more.
Most of our volunteers, I find, like to work anywhere from, or volunteer for us, anywhere from 4 hours to, half a day. Is typically what they like. And typically, we'll do half a day Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Yeah. To kind of break it up and give them an opportunity to do other things. Yeah. Especially, our retired folks.
Oh, yeah.
They make great volunteers.
Yeah. Come here. We're calling this gentleman over. Don't move. Have a seat right here while we make a quick adjustment here. We welcome to the table Mr. Roberto Mendoza.
Sir. Hey, Wayne, how's it going?
Fine, Roberto. How are you doing? Good to see you as well. All right, now what do you do?
I'm a volunteer mainly with the disaster program, doing what we call blue sky, which means there's nothing going on. I am the disaster action team coordinator. Disaster action team are sort of like the Red Cross's first responders. Anytime there's a disaster, whether it's a single-family fire or whether it's a full-blown disaster like hurricanes, tornadoes, floods, or anything, then we're the ones who, start to activate and get things going.
That's exactly right. How long have you been doing this for the Red Cross?
Almost 36 years.
Do you think you'll like it?
I'm thinking about it.
You going to stick with it?
I'm thinking about it.
We're never going to let him retire.
Okay.
I can tell you that much.
Put a cot in the back room here, and there's Roberto's room.
Yep.
Okay. All right, very good. Well, let's talk about the open house again. What day is that?
Saturday, March 25th. From
March 25th.
10 to 2.
All right, Roberto, what are we going to see at the open house?
Oh, hopefully a lot of things. We're just going to show the public what we do in the Red Cross. Maybe we'll have something for disaster, blood services, home fire campaign, the pillowcase project, and different things that are going on.
Now, are we going to be able to give blood that day?
Not that day.
Oh, okay.
Not that day.
Unless if you want to. I got ways of making it.
Okay, I'm going home now.
Yeah, he does have a couple of ways, actually.
I'm sure. But look, how do we find out when blood drives are given?
You can go to our website, redcrossblood.org, put it in your zip code, and you can find all the blood drives in your area.
It does list them out very neatly for you.
Yep. Or you can download the app, the blood donor app.
That's right. Download the blood donor app.
Very user friendly.
Yeah, very good. All right. Any, okay, again, March 25th, and that will be here at the Red Cross office on North George Street, 600 North George. Go to redcrossblood.org, find out more about where the blood drives are going to be and when they're going to be. Download the Red Cross Blood app. And how's that again? How do you...
Go to the Google Play Store and search for Red Cross, and you'll actually bring up all of our, I think we have 12 apps now,
wow.
that are event specific, like if it was your tornado area or hurricane area, and then you could just go for that one app. But yes, Google Play Store, Red Cross app, and it's a little blood drop.
Okay. 600 North George Street, 919-735-7201 is the phone number here, right?
Yes,
Hey.
impressive.
Oh, all right. And again, March 25th, do not forget that. Consider becoming a volunteer. I think you'll like it. All right? Roberto Mendoza, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right. Kimberly Berrier, thank you, dear. I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
It's always good to see you.
Always, thank you.
All right. And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television. We're here today at the Charles B. Aycock birthplace site in the Fremont area between Pikeville and Fremont, just off Highway 117. A nice, large area. Look at the expanse of this place. You can imagine back in the late 1800s, this was an absolutely gorgeous farm here with all the corn and everything growing. And we got sheep out here, we got geese and chickens and all the farm animals you can imagine. And this is just a great place to come visit. And in fact, they do give tours here. School kids will come out here from time to time. You have tours. Plus, on the 18th, they've got an event called Go Fly a Kite. No, that's not what it's called. What's it called?
Yeah.
Is
Let's
that what
go
it's
fly a
called?
kite.
Let's Go Fly a Kite. That's what it's called. On the 18th, starts at noon. You're invited to come out here and fly a kite. Now, the sheriff's office helicopter will be here, Raven, with Captain Tom Parker at the helm, and he will have the helicopter here in place. Okay? Anyway, it's going to be a lot of fun on the 18th. Also, coming up in June, again, we have another summer fun camp. This is a fun bunch camp. It's June 12th to August 25th. Starts at 7:30 in the morning, goes to 5 o'clock. And I imagine by 5 o'clock there's going to be some tired campers there because there's going to be so much to do. They will provide lunch every day. They've got field trips, skating, fishing, bowling, arts and crafts, sports and games, and swimming, and a whole lot of fun. This is for ages 6 to 12. 6 to 12, and this will be taking place, it looks like, at Herman Park Center. Herman Park Center. Parks and Recreation Department are the people who's putting this on. Ages 6 to 12, the Fun Bunch Summer Camp. Call this number to get more information. 919-739-7480. 7480. And a golf tournament. You realize that golf spelled backwards is flog? I flog at golf, I do. Anyway, that's it right there. The second annual Make a Difference Food Pantry Golf Tournament is going to be going on here on Friday, June 16th. Register, get ready for this. Registration times is at 7:15 and 11:15. 2 tee times available, one at 8 and another at noon, 8 o'clock and 12 o'clock. Registration again, 7:15 and 11:15. Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course is a fine course. It's a 4-man Super Ball format, $55 per player, and that's a bargain. The $55 will include 2 raffle tickets and a goodie bag. Lunch will be provided by the Texas Roadhouse of Goldsboro. Sponsorships are available, and they are a bargain as well. Lunch, you can sponsor lunch for $200, sponsor a hole for $100, sponsor a cart for only $60. Sponsorship deadline is May the 22nd, and you can make your checks payable to Make a Difference, and you can mail them to Mount Olive at 188 Mills Loop Road. Mills Loop Road, 188 Mills Loop Road, Mount Olive. And if you have any questions about that, well, let's see. You could either call the Goldsboro Municipal Golf Course, or you could call Make a Difference Food Pantry, and that's in Mount Olive. All right? All right, let's see. Let's find out what's special about today. Do I have that?
What is special, Wayne?
I know I have that somewhere. I've got my what's special about today here somewhere.
We can make up something.
Let's make up something. What's special about today? Today is the 8th. Oh, here's one. No, that's not it at all. Here's nothing in it either, right here. I had it here just a moment ago. Stand by.
Can
I'll
you
be
see
with
that Wayne Alley
Well,
is
we just-
special?
Well, let's make up something. Let's see. Today is pine cones are special day. Today is also banana pudding is special. Today is also cement blocks are really, really special. What's special about this week? Okay, this week is, today's Wednesday, right? Today is Wednesday. That means that today at 9:30 this morning, there is a tornado drill statewide. Be aware of that, a tornado drill statewide. Now by then, by tomorrow, by this afternoon, by today at 9. I don't know. So by 9:30 this morning, when they have that tornado drill, the rain should have stopped by then, and we're going to see the beginning of some clearing later on. But here's what's special about this week. Okay? This is National Dental Assistance Recognition Week. This is, well, we were going to celebrate National Procrastination Week, but I decided to wait till next week for that one. This week is National Sleep Awareness Week. Be aware of sleep. Yes. This is Women in Construction Week. Be careful there. National School Breakfast Week. Women of Aviation Worldwide Week. Yes. All right, and a whole bunch of other stuff too. I won't get into all that. Now, here's today's trivia question. They printed them on the back. Here's today's trivia question. The trivia question for today is yet to be determined.
The category is?
The category is the Beatles. John, Paul, George, and Ringo. Which one was the oldest? Who was the elder Beatle when they were all alive? Okay, that's the question of the day. Which Beatle was the eldest of the Fab Four? That was the Fab Four as we know it. I'm not talking about the early days when there were other guys involved. Which one was the oldest? That's our question of the day. We'll have the answer for you in the next segment of the program. That's coming up next on Wayne Goldsboro Television. Today we're talking with Major Matt Cain Olde. And Matt, it's good to see you.
Sir, pleasure.
Or I'll call you Cain. How's that?
That works.
All right. How long have you been in the Air Force?
Sir, I commissioned in 2006, so about 11 years now.
All right. And where's home originally?
Originally, Florida, mostly. I was an Air Force brat, moved around a lot, ended up in Florida, and then came up here to go to school at ECU, and then I've been here since 2008.
In Florida, what were you at Homestead or?
Orlando and Melbourne, Central Florida.
In that area, Central Florida. So you went to ECU here and studied?
Business management.
All right. And so if you ever leave the Air Force, or are you in for the long haul?
I'm in for the long haul, but I would like to use that degree someday to run a business.
Well, I'm sure you can, because it won't take you long to get past 20 years. How long you been in?
11.
11 years. Okay, well, you're on the downside now. But you came today to talk to us about one of our favorite things to talk about here in Goldsboro and in Wayne County, and that is the Wings Over Wayne Air Show that's going to be coming up.
Yes, sir.
The 2017 Wings Over Wayne Air Show. We do this every 2 years, right?
Yes, sir.
And so tell me about this year. We're all excited about this. This is a wonderful thing. This is one of the biggest things in eastern North Carolina.
It is. It's going to be awesome. It's awesome every year. This year is going to be just as great. I'd like to say it's going to be even better than last year. We have the Blue Angels, so the premier U.S. Navy and Marine Corps flying demonstration team. We're really excited to have those guys. We have Black Dagger's jump team that's going to come out. We have our combined arms demo, which is it's a CAD combined arms demo, and it's a demonstration of several different aircraft in the U.S. Air Force's inventory and the military's inventory, doing a demonstration front show center with explosions, pyrotechnics, and everything for right there crowd. I mean, you can basically feel the heat off the fire. That's going to be completely safe, though. No worries there.
Right. Just a lot of noise, a lot of
noise, a lot of explosions, and a lot of airplanes going fast. So
that's fun. Yeah. I love that.
Yep.
So, who are some of the features, some of the other planes that we might see out there this year?
We'll have several civilian fully aerobatic performers out there. We're going to have a couple of them. I'm going to keep to myself for now because we're going to be releasing them as they solidify. But we have a T-33 Ace Maker, and he's going to do an incredible performance. He's the only U.S. Air Force Korea War paint scheme T-33 that is rated all the way down to the surface. So it's going to be an incredible performance out of him. And again, the Blue Angels, we have a couple of demonstration teams, fighter demonstration teams that I'm going to keep to myself for the next couple of days until they're officially released. But you guys will enjoy what's coming out as far as those demonstration teams.
This is so exciting. Every year, man, it just gets better and better every year. Now, the Blue Angels were here just a few years ago, and they put on a phenomenal show.
They did.
And they differ from, the show differs from the Thunderbirds. People always like to see the Thunderbirds, the Air Force Thunderbirds, but the Blue Angels, it's a little different program, a little different routine, and it's a fascinating, it's phenomenal, actually, is what it is.
Yeah, it's a different aircraft, so it's going to be slightly different. F-18 versus the F-16, both incredibly maneuverable aircraft and quick and agile, so they both put on an incredible show. The U.S. Navy Blue Angels has a little bit different show, and no worse, no better. It's just an incredible show.
It's great. Yeah. It's just a great show. Yeah. Some of the static displays where people actually get a chance to go up and touch and feel and see the plane, get inside the plane, some of these big planes. What are we going to see?
Pretty much anything that's in our inventory, we're working to get out there, and we have a lot of them firmed up. Obviously, real world operation dependent if something does pop up, but you can expect to see a C-17, a C-5, a B-52.
Big planes.
We've got obviously the 135, the KC-135.
That's our baby.
That's here at Seymour Johnson, and then we'll have several Strike Eagles out there to include one that'll be loaded up with what we call the heavy hitter package, or the hero jet, if you will. It'll have an arsenal loaded up on it to kind of show what we are able to take off with and fly into combat with and deliver on behalf of the nation. So.
That is great.
Yeah, it'll be good.
So now the dates on the show are what?
20 and 21 May of 2017 this year.
Okay. All right. 20 and 21 May 20th and 21st for civilians. May 20th and 21st.
Yes, sir.
So both days, and are the Blue Angels performing both days?
Saturday and Sunday will be nearly identical. There will be a few minor differences on Saturday, a couple of extra. So if I encourage you, if you have to pick one day, come out on Saturday. But I would strongly encourage both days because you won't be able to see everything on Saturday. The opening ceremonies / a couple of different planes that might be flying on Saturday that I'm not quite going to reveal yet. We'll kick those out on Facebook and have a big splash.
You've got all these secrets now.
I know, we've got to get them.
We're teasing people here.
We're teasing people. We're about 85 or so days out, and we've got lots of time, but really we're going to start to release those as soon as they're firmed up, and then to make sure that there's no real world taskings from these aircraft. We don't want to get people excited and then let them down. So I can assure you that if you show up, you won't be let down regardless of what does.
Never let down.
It'll be incredible.
At a Wings Over Wayne air show, man, nobody's ever disappointed.
Yeah.
It's just fantastic. And a lot of the displays that are on, static displays set up are just, you got helicopters, you got...
We'll have civilian and military helicopters. That's exactly right. We'll have both the F-22 and the F-35, which is the newest. Yeah, they'll be parked up there right up front with a Strike Eagle right there, the heavy hitter that I talked about in the middle. So you guys will be able to see some serious air power on the fighter side right there in the midst of it, and then surrounding it, we'll have the B-1, the B-52, so the bomber power, the bomber air power, if you will, and then again the tankers that I mentioned, and then the heavies, the 130, and we'll have a HC-130J, which is the newest 130 platform that the Air Force has, and it's an incredible looking aircraft. It looks pretty mean. So.
Wow. A-10s?
A-10s, absolutely. A-10s, a personal favorite. My dad flew A-10s.
Did he?
Yeah, I love the A-10.
Yeah, man.
Incredible. I'm excited it's still around, and I'm excited to have those guys. They'll actually be performing. With any luck, they'll be performing in the combined arms demo.
Really?
Yeah, we'll have A-10s in it, F-16s. Some of the black T-38s will play the aggressors, the bad guy aircraft. And those guys are really good at playing aggressors. That's what they do day in and day out. And we'll have, obviously, the Strike Eagle will be a big part of the CAD, and then we'll have a joint terminal air control team from brag, come up, and then they RJ-tax. They will show what they do on a day in and day out basis in theater and home station as far as calling in airstrikes from the aircraft that are overhead. So
wow.
It'll be pretty cool. It'll be very interactive with the crowd right up front, and you really don't want to miss it. The CAT is an incredible performance. It's one of my favorites.
Oh, that is great. One of my favorites is the World War II P-51.
We'll have two of them out there,
Oh,
actually.
baby.
We'll have one on the static ramp.
Yeah.
Swamp Fox,
Right.
really excited. Mr. Robert Dixon's aircraft, him and his son.
He was here last year.
He was here
time,
last year.
yeah.
He's right now in South Carolina. He's a friend of the base, friend of the air show, and he'll be back up here with his aircraft on the ramp. And then we'll have Quicksilver out there flying for us with Scott Yoke in the pilot seat there.
Oh, yeah. Very nice.
He's a good pilot, great pilot, and a really cool, really incredibly painted, polished silver aircraft with some blue paint scheme. It's really, really nice aircraft.
Lots of military planes, lots of civilian planes, lots of static displays, lots of aerobatics, lots of everything,
Absolutely.
including food.
Food. There will be a master concessionaire out there providing food and water and drinks at a fair price, and so bring cash. Thanks for mentioning that. There is $0 cost to get on the ramp and on base. It is open to the public as it is every year, 100% free. But we encourage you to bring cash so you can buy some food, drinks, whatever, and feed your family.
Major, tell me about some of the non-aircraft acts or displays that will be out there.
Yes, sir. If flying or aircraft isn't quite your passion, which I can't imagine it wouldn't be,
Wow.
but personal passion of mine. But if it's not, that's great. We'll have some non-flying stuff out there. We'll have the U.S. Air Force's Honor Guard is coming down from D.C. to do their drill team performance and spin rifles. It's an absolutely incredible performance. If you haven't had the opportunity to see that, right there on the ramp. And we'll have the Security Forces Squadron is going to do their military working dog demonstration, which is totally cool and something you don't get to see every day, where the 100-pound German Shepherd is hitting the padded arm on the guys there and showing you what you don't want to be on the receiving end of that.
No, you don't.
And then we'll have some high school bands out there doing kind of a battle of the bands thing for some entertainment, deconflicted from the flying, obviously, so they're not drowned out by any jet noise.
Right.
Several ground-based acts. NASCAR, some NASCAR folks. I'm not exactly sure who yet. We have about 3 or 4 that are kind of in the works, not solid yet, but we should have some really cool NASCAR, both trucks and the cars out there. And then a couple car clubs will be out there. So if you like Corvettes and Porsches and Mustangs, you'll
Who
be able
doesn't?
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, that's very.
Planes and cars and loud noise and explosions.
Yes, love it. So what about a website?
WingsOverWayne.com, WingsOverWayneAirshow.com, both will get you to the same spot, and then you can click from there on the top right side. You can go to the Facebook page. So ask questions. I try to get on there in the evening and answer questions, but our Holly, my social marketing individual for the website and the Facebook page is really great, and she is very interactive with the folks on there. But there's some questions that I'll try to get on there and answer that she might not know the answer to. So you can ask me anything related to the air show. Hopefully keep it related to the air show. But WingsOverWayneAirshow.com, and then the Facebook page. You click on the top right on the little Facebook icon and get there. So
WingsOverWayneAirshow.com.
Yes, sir.
And WingsOverWayne.com.
WingsOverWayne.com takes you to the same place.
Oh, okay. Major Matt Cain Olde is our guest today from Seymour Johnson Air Force Base, and we're looking very much forward to the Wings Over Wayne 2017 Air Show at Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. Cain, thank you.
Sir, thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Back on Wayne Goldsboro Television now, as we run our last segment for you here. A couple of things for you. Coffee with a Cop is coming up soon. That is tomorrow. That's very soon. Coming up tomorrow, 8:30 until 9:30 at Bojangles on Highway 111 South. So you go to the traffic light and go south if you're on 111. If you're not on 111, you're in the wrong place. Turn around and go back. Tomorrow at 8:30 at Bojangles, Highway 111 South, and it's right there. It's Coffee with a Cop, okay?
Perfect timing. If you have any questions for the cops, this is perfect timing.
You know, that's right. You know, people don't think about police officers as people. They think of them as police officers, but they are. They're people. They drive vehicles. They drive a truck or a car. They go to church. They went to school here. They studied here. They have, a lot of them are married. They have children. They're just like anybody else. And it's a job they do, protecting the public, protecting you, protecting citizens of the community. This is what they do, and this is the life they've chosen. It's not an easy job, and we should thank every one of them for what they do. They make a lot of sacrifices, and their families do as well. So when you see a police officer doing his job, thank him for doing his job.
Any law enforcement.
Him or her. Thank you. That's right. We're talking sheriff's office. We're talking police. We're talking all of the police departments in all of the communities around Wayne County, including Mount Olive and Fremont and Pikeville and including the hospital, Cherry Hospital as well, Wayne Memorial. These all have police departments. So let's thank them for what they do. They have a tough job. All right? All right. Now.
One more camp.
We have another camp, don't we? Spring break camp. This is going to be taking place during spring break. Anyway, it's April 17th through the 21st. It starts at 7:30 in the morning, goes to 5 o'clock, and it's for ages 6 to 13. 6 to 13. Bring your own lunch, and they will have skating and bowling and fishing and sports. Skating and bowling and fishing and sports. Call the Parks and Recreation Department at 919-739-7491. 739-7491. And what's that?
This is the Friends of Seymour Johnson Air Force Base 4th Annual Gala. You are cordially invited to the Friends of Seymour Johnson on Saturday, March 25th at the Goldsboro Event Center. And that's located at 1501 South Slocum Street.
Very good. Kathleen Ferguson's going to be the keynote speaker there. She's retired Air Force. They asked for an RSVP no later than March 10th, and it's $100 per person. Dinner begins at 7:30, raffle and cocktails at 6 p.m. Semi-formal, if you please, at Goldsboro Event Center.
That's
Boy,
right.
that place rocks. I love that place. All right. Well, it's time to give the answer to our trivia question for today. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh. I only...
You know more about the Beatles than me.
Only... The question was, the category was the Beatles, the Fab Four, if you will. Of the four, which one was the oldest? I'm not asking his age, because he's still living, and there's only two still living. That's Paul and Ringo. And so that means which one was the oldest at the time they were all alive. The answer to the question is Ringo was the oldest Beatle, and he is still alive. I didn't look up his age, but he's in his 70s. Yeah, he's in his 70s. But Ringo Starr, Richard Starkey was his real name, but he called himself Ringo because he wore rings on every finger. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. But he was the oldest of all the four. And that's our trivia question for today, and I guess that's our program too, isn't it? That's our program for today. And we're here at the beautiful Charles B. Aycock birthplace in Fremont. This is a wonderful place. I hope you're able to visit sometime. Come on out and have a picnic. It's going to be great this summer. It is. This is a beautiful place out here. Anyway, we'll be back in here tomorrow beginning at 7. The show repeats at noon every day, and then it repeats again at 5:30 p.m. So until tomorrow, I'm Wayne Alley.
And I'm Pat Garner.
And this is Wayne Goldsboro Television.